Hello, I'm Dick.
And I'm Eric, and we're the Annuity guys.
Well, Eric, are annuity complaints on the rise?
No. Yes. No.
Depends on which
Ours?
annuity,
No.
which annuity complaints you want to talk about.
And that's exactly the case.
Yes.
And we see the black eye of the industry coming out ever again with the old variable annuity.
Well, and that's something that has been on the rise. Are variable annuity complaints, and it runs the gamut. I mean, from the fees and the surrender charges, and the losing money. When stocks
You can lose money.
go the wrong way.
Annuity.
But what's very interesting is the fixed annuities, which would take in that hybrid annuity and everything. We've seen those complaints go down steadily. They kind of hit a peak somewhere around 2006, 2007. They were up around 200 complaints. And folks, when you think about this, 200 complaints over tens of thousands of folks that buy annuities in a given year, that's not a lot of complaints. But now they've actually tapered down. Fixed index annuity sales have been way up.
Right.
And their complaints have tapered down to last year, I think, around 54 complaints for the entire year.
Well, even when we look at what the variable annuity complaints, 165 complaints on variable annuities. So you're not talking about...
That's not a huge number.
Now, and we should very clearly clarify here that, when somebody complains about an annuity, it's typically not because of the annuity design. It's not the insurance company. Unfortunately, it's guys like us.
Annuity guys.
Or people that want to be annuity guys.
I beg your pardon.
Don't fully understand the product. They don't explain it very well, and so they have consumers confused, and they don't know which direction they're going, and their inability to articulate how the product works.
And Eric, this doesn't show up until later when the person has the policy and they have some need. They need to get additional money, or they need to turn their income on, or whatever, and it doesn't work the way they were told it was supposed to work.
Yeah, they get caught with the sizzle side, perhaps. The 5% guaranteed roll up.
Right.
For income and deferral.
Well, they thought they were going to earn 5%, every year guaranteed, and they see their account drop in, a couple of years in a row, and they're like, hey, this isn't what I bought.
That's right. That's not what you told me, and that's usually where the complaint comes from.
Yeah.
And I guess, really, to be fair to the annuity industry, we should say, the number of complaints in comparison about mutual funds.
The securities industry.
Exactly.
And that literally, I mean, looking at the reports that we've been looking at, I think the SEC last year had over 10,000 total complaints. Now, that's a lot of complaints.
That's a lot of complaints.
And we tend to not see that. What's interesting about this is we don't see that in these financial articles a lot. We don't see a lot of talk about that.
We don't like to talk about what we don't do well.
But we see a lot of talk about, this annuity this or this annuity that. And I've seen now that the populace is becoming a little more educated about annuities, a little more understanding is out there. I've seen less of these negative articles showing up.
Well, I wish I could say I see less of them. Maybe I'm drawn to them, but it's like everybody that has a newspaper article or a blog likes to pick on it. The topic of this one: angry annuity clients seek damages. Now that doesn't say, really, if you look at it in proportion, it's not nearly as bad as the people that are, the stocks that are 3 or 4 or 5 times as many complaints, or that it's people are, the highlight is
it grabs attention and it sells advertising, and so this is part of the industry, and folks, really, when you get down to why annuities are so popular and why they have so few complaints, is because they actually do the opposite of what the market does. They make your money safe.
That's right. It's safety first.
It's right.
And that's why I always cringe when I see people that have newspaper articles, and I'm not even going to mention their names because they don't deserve to have, I like the broker's advice, until they recommended a indexed annuity.
You wouldn't be thinking about Malcolm Burko, would you?
Yes, I would. You read that article too. And gives us bad names because we are in the indexed annuity world. We
Right.
understand how they work. We understand where the benefits are. And unfortunately, people that don't live in our world.
Right. Well, and
Don't
if
bet.
you're just, as Bill O'Reilly, says, fair and balanced, there's ways that annuities can be used wrong. There's ways that they're used correctly. They're just simply a financial tool.
That's exactly right. It's annuities are a great way to make sure you don't live too long.
Yes.
It's a longevity. It's guarding against
Right.
outliving your money.
Right.
And we talk about that being the strength and the cornerstone.
The principal protection, protecting what you've put into that annuity in terms of premium, and you know that it will never go backwards. If we're talking about the fixed annuity, and obviously, the
Right.
variable is
and we have some issues with the variable annuities ourselves because we don't like to lose money, and we don't like for our clients,
to lose money.
So are we?
Are they on the rise? It depends on whether you're talking about which type of annuity.
And it depends on if you work in our office. Because in our office, not so much.
The complaints are under control.
That's right.
Thank you.